for now, we go to Next Generation. Next Generation is the next group of people within the Wage Indicator Foundation. They become younger and younger and younger. We have them of 18, 19, 20, 23, 25. And Fiona Dragstra, also Next Generation in Wage Indicator, she will moderate the group of, let's say, young people, of which we hope, but also I think it's even realistic, that they will in 10 years' time, they will be the real leaders of Wage Indicator. It's relevant to ask them now what they think about their future. So I hand it over to Fiona. Fiona, enjoy.
Thanks, everyone. Happy Friday, first of all. I would first like to ask everyone to stand up from where you're seated. Oh. Because yes, please, just stand up. Move your body quickly. Move, 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 move. Get your blood flowing. It's Friday afternoon. We're in a Zoom meeting. Normally, if we would have a Wage Indicator conference, we would be dancing almost every day. We would have some fun after the meetings and everything. So I would like to get your blood flowing before we do some nice things. Great, everybody's back at their seats? I think so, yes, yes, yes. Good. I see that Kasia is still dancing. That's very good, very good. Keep the positive vibes. Welcome to this very nice session of the Future Group. I'm gonna go share my screen and a small presentation that we made. And you should be, if I do this and then this, you can see the second slide, right? Yes, great. So
no, not yet.
We see the first slide.
Yeah.
Yes, this is the first slide. That's good. I will tell you when we're at the second slide. So for this session, it's going to be Vasudha, Nii, Shreya, and myself that will quickly share something on what we think is part of the future of the Wage Indicator and how we shape this future together. But we also ask something from you. At the end of when we present first our dreams. Nii is not, he's sort of with us today here. Oh, he's still here. He had exams today. So he can also present his own presentation now. I just in case he didn't make it because of his exams, I also, I was there to present for him, but he can talk for himself now. That's great. So I would like to please first introduce Vasudha, who will present as the first. Vasudha is 21, which is, well, a very good age to work at Wage Indicator. It's not young or not old. It's a perfect age to work at the Wage Indicator. And she's been working at the Wage Indicator since September 2020. And she started with the Flame Interns program in news and social media, and she's now part of our communications team. And she's zooming in from India. Vasudha, please, you have the floor to present.
Thank you so much, Fiona, for the lovely introduction. I'll share my screen. Can I have access, please? Yeah, all right, I have it. Thank you. I just want to know if my screen is visible. Yes, all right, thank you. So what I will be presenting today is the plan that I envision for the outreach department in the future, or at least the ideas that I have. These are again very open to discussion. We can have a chat about it and see how we want to go about this. But the main thing that I have kept in mind while coming up with these ideas is that the focus is on the people that are consuming the Wage Indicator content, that are visiting the websites, that are really just finding the data useful. So there are a couple of ideas, so please bear with me. I'll try to explain all of these briefly. Feel free to leave any questions in the chat, or we can obviously have a discussion right after this. But starting with the first point being a chatbot, if possible, I think it would be a very good idea if we have a chatbot on our websites. Starting with the fact that chatbots are actually known to increase representation of the customers, either from live representatives or even robotic artificial intelligence chatbots. That way we can actually see what the visitors are actually looking for. We can start with a simple, hi, welcome to Wage Indicator. How can we help you? What topic are you looking to get information for? They can click on either labor rights, living wages, minimum wages, or whatever they're filling, and then we ask them what country would you like us to focus on depending on the region, and then we basically relay them to that part of the website. So, and if there's some other doubt that they have, we can directly ask them to click on the other section, and that way we get to know what query are they looking for and why couldn't we actually send them to that part of the website, what were we lacking. So that is where the chatbots come in. Again, I think it is a pretty easy option to set up, considering if you go for the artificial intelligence one, but it will take time to set up on all the websites that we have. Next, second would be career-related content. So the mission of Wage Indicator is to be more transparent about the labor rights, labor network, and basically giving people access to all the information. I feel like what we have right now is very you could say employer and employer related for the government, for the academicians and for academics and for everyone. But I feel like we can go a mile extra and come up with actual career related content, which has a focus on upskilling people and telling them, okay, these are the jobs in demand. So probably coming up with quarterly jobs in demand for particular regions. Or so if in East Africa, these jobs are currently in demand, this is the average salary coming. The salary can be obviously calculated from our tools, the salary checker tool, because you already have that kind of data. So coming up with these quarterly content or monthly content that we can revise, because I know from our social media and from social listening on all our social media platforms, I see that there's a need and people get attracted to career-related content and content focused on jobs very much. So that is something that we can explore as well. And even though we have been experimenting with a focus on getting people to apply for jobs, I feel like we can do better with the content that we're going to present. Simply how to upskill yourself, free courses that you can do, or some kind of content like that. So that's where the career content comes in. Talking about gamification. I still remember the first time I opened the Wage Indicator website in September 2020 before the orientation. And I looked at it and I got really overwhelmed with the amount of information that I got to see, because I was a finance student studying digital marketing, and all these new terms, cost of living, labor rights index, and all of these are very new to me. And the sheer amount of information on the website that one sees is a lot to take in at once. So the goal really with gamification is to probably make the website more interactive and trying to probably, instead of making it surveys, we make it a quiz. And we show them an incentive at the end. So instead of you're taking a survey, we show you an end result. Okay, this is the salary checker survey, but you put in your information and value. Okay, people in the same industry are earning this much, which we even now present, but we show it as an end result. So they're actually motivated to finish the survey and we get the data out of it. The other part, again, similar on the same lines, is daily polls. This is another way I feel like that we can just simply increase our engagement and get our daily visitors to come back again and again. Because with daily polls, we can actually measure the number of daily website visits that we anyway get from the analytics, but having a daily, probably one question on website, which is very common for probably study prep websites. Okay, this is a GMAT or a GRE prep question. What is your answer? We have it in the form of a labor rights question, or who do you think earns more? Daily polls on the websites to really see what people are wanting, and just to get that engagement and to get people to come back to our websites. Another thing is obviously guest posts. So we look for people that are obviously in our industry right now. All of us are probably from different universities, different organizations, having all of us collaborating together. So probably an article of Wage Indicator on your website or your article on our website. That way we're collaborating and we can share the same information, but get access to different audiences. Forums. So this is something that I'm really keen about, considering that a lot of messages that we get on all our social media platforms that I have this question, I have that, this, that. So basically engage conversations, engage discussions, because we are not in actual contact. We're not creating conversations with our audience. We need to create a connection with them, and that connection can be by creating forums and engaging discussions in them. And then probably from the forums, you can really see what do people really want. If they want, what are they really looking for? And we can actually use screenshots from if someone put up a living wage related question, we come up with an article on that. So that also allows us to come up with user generated content, which is another stream that we can obviously focus on. Social share buttons, we obviously already have that on every web page. You can just go and click on probably the icons and you can share it. But all I'm asking is to make it more visible. We actually add a call to action, a CTA, share this with your friends or something, so that we make it out there, we make it loud so that they can actually share it. Again, the psychology, marketing psychology, you're asking them to actually do it. You're putting it right in front of their eyes. That is just to make it bigger. And email segmentation. When I talk about email segmentation, is basically really mapping the journey of the user. If someone has signed up for our email newsletter or something from a salary web page, then we start by sending them information from our salary websites. And then we subtly try to push them into all the different types of content that we have or the types of services that we offer. It's just that we really need to map out the journey of the user so that we don't end up losing them and having them unsubscribe from our content. Offline events. So this is basically, we go offline to get our online reach. The more local events that we all attend, probably as wage indicators. So if there's a conference in Pune that we can attend, which is related to labor law, public policy, or something that is in our sphere, then we go and we talk about it and we network as wage indicator, not individual people. That will also get us that online reach later in the form of networking and connections. We have partner marketing. Again, as this is linked to guest posts, basically we collaborate with organizations in our sphere and try to come up with and try to get access to their audience while they're getting access to our audience. And lastly is comments and ratings. Nowhere on our website have we ever mentioned, is this actually helpful for you? Give us feedback, did this help you? We actually see if the content that we're presenting in one question, it can just be on a scale of 1 to 5, but we actually see if it is actually helping people. If not, how can we change it? Just these small, tiny things that will help us in the future to really map out where we're lacking and then add even more to our websites according to that. And lastly, a big, bold idea, which is for far in the future, is that we run a full-fledged video campaign. That means we send out a survey to everyone on our, basically, we put it up on our websites, we advertise it on social media, that how has Wage Indicator helped you? It could be anything. And then we actually bring these people in, we shoot their video content, we shoot videos of them, and then we post it all on our social media and see which ones are performing best. And the ones that are performing the best, then we run geo-targeted ads towards those targeted audience in that specific region to, again, get more people like that on our website and get more survey fills, more website traffic, all of that. So this will require a lot of time and effort, but I feel like it will be very useful for us because it will be real people, real stories that we will be sharing. So that is a vision for the future. But that is all I had. Thank you so much for listening to me. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Vasudha. Great. It's huge ideas, but we have time, right? The future is ahead of us.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. Next speaker is Nii. We all hope that he made his exams today. That's first very important. Nii is calling in from London. He's 30 years old. He's been with the Wage Indicator since November 2021. And he was already an intern of the Living Wage team and part of the data calculations and business analytics team. And he now will also be part of our Living Wage team. Nii, you have the floor.
Hello, everyone, and good afternoon. I joined Wage Indicator last year, and it's been a very enlightening experience. I already have a passion for data, but to see the societal impact that you can have with information has been an amazing experience for me, and it's not one that I would exchange for anything. Given the significant benefits of data that we have seen over the years in different businesses and research, we have examples of now we have smartwatches that constantly collect data and give us information about our general health. We are now having realistic conversations about driverless cars. We've seen data being used in the retail space, where you can now match the right customers to the right goods. We are increasing quality of service. I think it is time for organizations in the social sector to also take advantage of this powerful decision-making and incorporate it into the operations. So given that, the dream that I have for Wage Indicator is for us to be a pioneering foundation that leverages on incoming data and transform this into an effective way of mapping out the employer-employee journey and even have a bigger societal impact than we are having now. And I believe that to do this, we need to come up with strategies that would overcome the hurdles of data management and fragmentation, our cost-heavy operations, and then quality control. How would we achieve this? We should be able to constantly and on a consistent basis collect data, process, analyze, and derive insights from it, because we have the data. We are constantly collecting the data. How do we transform this data? What insights do we pick from this data to help our end users? We should be able to take advantage of current visualization tools to disseminate this information, because sometimes numbers are overwhelming. What do these numbers mean? We have to situate it and make it realistic. When we publish our living wage figures, it is not just enough to say, okay, the living wage is £1,000 or €1,000. What does this mean? How can it be implemented if we promote that companies should pay a living wage? What does it mean for society as a whole? We have to do that. We need to also ensure that we output quality information out there. And there is also a very reliable assurance control. I know that Wages Indicator is in conversations with other organizations for assurance control, which is also very important because we own the process. If another organization also looks at your process and says that, oh, you are doing a good job, it boosts confidence out there. Other people know that, okay, we can rely on you because not only are you saying this, but a third party is also looking at it and also saying that, yes, we are doing a good job. We need to be in a position to be adaptable. So times are changing, and times are changing really fast. We are moving from, there was a time when everything was on pen and paper. Now we have computers, we have supercomputers. Times are changing. So I feel we should also change with the times and take advantage of all this information that we are getting. Vasudha gave us brilliant ideas of how to boost our numbers, how to boost our views, how to get people to be more interested and get more service completed. But we should also look at what benefits we can get from the data that we have collected. It's not just enough to get their engagement, but these engagements should be turned into insights that would have bigger impact. So that is my brief dream for Wage Indicator in the years to come.
Thank you so much, Nee. I'm happy that you were here to present because you said it better than I could ever have done it. Thank you so much. And welcome to the team. We're happy to have you. Thank you.
Thank you too.
Our last speaker of the Dreams for the Future. And I also see that Gunjan is coming up with a lot of ideas already. So Vasudha, I think you did a good job in pitching what is needed. Our last speaker is Shreya. She is 21 years old, and for somebody that is 21, has an extremely impressive CV, not only before Wage Indicator, but even at Wage Indicator. she started with us 3 years ago as an intern from Flame. She then started managing the Living Wage intern team. And now she's the general manager of all interns globally, which are, I believe, over 100 interns. We're super happy that she is with us. And she's also sharing some of her ideas for the future. Shia, you have the floor.
Thanks, Fiona. Good evening. I'm reporting from India. I'm in Pune. I'm studying here at Flame University. And as Fiona mentioned, I started as an intern 3 years ago, and then I went on to manage the Living Wages team alone. And then I could go ahead with RIA this last academic year. I hope you can hear me. I think there's a power cut. Okay. Should I move ahead with my presentation?
Yes, we can hear you perfectly.
Okay.
Thanks.
So what has worked perfectly for us and I believe all of the interns and employees would agree, is the structured style of management that we have and that we follow. We all work with a global team. We work from our offices or our homes in the Netherlands, Italy, South Africa, and India. And given that we're all over the world, how do we continue to grow while also maintaining that the quality of work that we have been putting out for all these years, maintaining the same level of data collection, ensuring that while we do increase our data collection efforts, or while we do increase our data calculation efforts, how do we kind of keep that quality going? I think the answer is quite simple. We keep doing what we have been doing so successfully for so many years. We expand, we get more people into our teams locally, we entrust them with responsibilities as we have been doing, whether it's day-to-day responsibilities or new project ideas that we can get from them. And I believe that's basically what's worked for us for at least the Wage Indicator Flame Research Lab. Set up 3 get a raise specifically for the detailed reporting and management style that we have. We have the Wage Indicator managers at the top, subordinated by the student managers at Flame. And this kind of allows the Wage Indicator managers to spend their time doing
You're frozen a bit.
Communication is easy and
back.
Okay, is it good now?
Yes, maybe it helps if you shut down your video so we can hear you maybe better.
Okay, I will do that. So what's worked wonderfully for the student managers is that they can communicate easy with the interns, and if there's a problem, we know how to address it. We also have mechanisms in place where if someone is not putting their work out on time, or if the quality of the work is not good enough, we have a meeting with them, we have a conversation, we tell them what could be improved, and we have almost always seen tangible results in a few weeks or a week sometimes. And additionally, so as I mentioned, this setup of having a research lab is something I dream of having as we go down further into the future. I hope to have more research labs in universities around the world so that students like me, like Vasudha, can get hands-on skills and experience what it's like to manage, learn from the roles that we specialize in, and also Wage Indicator gets to expand its operations and, you know, increase its efforts multifold. So having more memorandums, having maybe liaison officers in the future, that is something we can expect to have. Some of the ideas that I have to keep the management to the level that it is at today is to continue to have the weekly meetings that we have, where we review our progress and we stay updated about the work that's being done, not just by our team, but all the teams, all the intern teams. Not only is this a great way to address problems, but it's also a great way to learn from other interns, to learn from the work that other people are doing. It's also a good way to appreciate the work that the interns are doing and to kind of make them feel valued, because at the end of the day, while doing the work, they can only know so much about what it's contributing to in the larger picture and how so many lives can be changed just by the data that we collect. So it highlights the importance of the work that is being done. Secondly, we can increase the pace of the satisfaction surveys and the feedback forms, not just for the interns, but for all of the employees. So to kind of understand where everyone is at and what we can do better to kind of just increase the communication that we have between us, and to just have a nice, enjoyable environment so that we keep working and we keep doing our work good. Another thing is to identify more exceptional interns that can take up roles as managers and train new interns. And this would ensure continuity within the organization. It would give the interns a chance to share their skills, and it would also allow the current interns to share their learnings with somebody. Finally, I think it's super important that we standardize what we do at every stage of the process. We have all of our manuals, our recordings in one place so that we don't lose out. And even if we look back at our work 1 year from now, we know where we stand and we know what can be improved. And I believe these are some things that have worked very well for us and will continue to contribute to the success that we have. So that's all from my side. These were the ideas that I had for management. I would love to hear some of your ideas as well.
Thank you so much, Shreya. You were also we could understand you very well. So thank you so much for that. If I listen to the stories from Vasudha and me and Shreya, what I hear all of you say is that we are really thinking global, right? There's none of you who think in an exclusive way, but everything is thought out in how can we reach out to as many people as possible to make a difference in all of the societies where things are happening and where things are also changing fast. So I like that. And then also, how can we make things more efficient? How can we ensure that we structure, but also do that for everybody? So thank you so much. I think you also all presented some aspects of Wage Indicator that you were part of in the past couple of years and that you will be part of in the coming years. So we're happy to have you on board. Thank you so much. Now that we have heard from our future, I would also like to ask all of you to think along with us on what your ideas are of the future. Of course, we have an interaction thing. So please grab your phones or your laptops. And you can go to www.menti.com and you fill in a code that's on top of the screen. And the code is 30755468. And we would like to hear from you what would be your dream for the Wage Indicator. Also, so that we can save this and look at it. If it doesn't work, you can also use the chat in Zoom. I already see wider global outreach. And I invite everybody that if you see something popping up here that you would like to talk about, or if you think that's a great idea, you can say so. You don't have to be muted. More interns moving up the ranks, nice. Everybody in the world feeling fairly treated, that's good. We're moving to other planets, that's nice, I like. A Wikipedia page for Wage Indicator. Everybody wants to move to Mars or more planets. We have a truly alien team. Famous benchmarks. Have an impact on the real world and workers' well-being. I now see people wanting to go to Mars and people wanting to have impact. Stay cool. Wow. Global acceptance. Maybe we should have a wage indicator government. That's also possible. Across the globe. This is great. I will definitely make sure that we share all of these ideas with you after the meeting, because I think it really gives us a lot of extra input. I think most of you have now shared a little bit already, right? Is there anybody who wants to comment on what you see? Or anybody who would like to comment or respond to what Shreya and Vasudha and Nii have shared? The floor is now open. A new country wage indicator, the wage indicator as country. Nice. The country wage indicator. I think that's a great idea. Maybe I can ask another question. Might be more difficult, but does anybody not agree with something that was shared? Does somebody think we should, I don't know, stop with collecting wages, or should do something completely different?
No.
I only think going to Mars will be quite expensive, but that's it.
Maybe we can ask Elon Musk to buy us.
Yeah,
that can also be possible.
But as far as I have a say, I would refuse that. I would try to be independent, and to stay independent, isn't it?
Definitely.
And
yes.
Stay as naughty as we are as a team.
Exactly. No, thank you so much for all your great ideas. Yeah, so as I said, the floor is open to discuss and respond to what was shared. Does anybody want to respond, or do you say, well, let's have a 5-minute or 2-minute tea break, and then we continue with Danny and Jana? That's also possible.
Well, there is a nice one you see from Rob, who says, a gold standard, better to have a de facto standard. Maybe Rob can explain that more. And the standard is maybe not only living wage, but wage indicator could be a standard. Yeah. But what type of standard? Maybe Rob can explain more what he thinks.
A little reflection on this, because I think the gold standard is really a good idea. But we know from practice that the gold standard is an unobtainable sort of goal. But in relation also to what we discussed the first hour, where de facto standards mean that you have a number of key players that adopt the standard, then make it de facto, then everybody will apply it because of reputation effects and the like. I think that would really be very obtainable, but that requires that everybody is smart about identifying lead partners, key players, and then pushing for them, not waiting until they adopt it, but actually helping them to adopt it. And then maybe in the end that could be the gold standard, but in the real world, gold standards very often are also misleading. Think about the Washington Consensus, or the gold standard in research that says you have to also look at control groups in order to prove your point. That is unobtainable. So the de facto standard for me would be really something to strive for. Anyway.
And that's more a wage indicator style, eh?
I think so, yes.
Yes, just a tiny bit smarter. And gold, gold, it's not for everybody. So it's smart. And what do you think, Fiona? Shall we continue, or shall we might have a break of 1-2 minutes, and then we have another future part. that is Jana and Rupa, good friends together. They did a PhD exactly in the same time. They know the same data, worked on the same wage indicator data for years. And well, they are within the wage indicator team already for many, many years. Let's have a 2 minutes break and we come back. So we come back basically at 15:40. That's here, the time. Thanks a lot, Fiona. Thanks, Sriya, Nii, and Vasudha. I'm quite sure, and I got already these messages here that you will be the future leadership of wage indicator. What future leadership? I know that you do already a hell of a lot. Vasudha is managing all interns already, so that's already leadership. What Nii is doing, well, we can explain a couple of weeks later, that is impressive. And Vasudha is really changing everything in outreach style as we do in wage indicator. Thanks a million for you. 2 minutes break and we're back.